On the set. 6-6, bullet high. It's just me and you.
On the run, it's Mixon. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Mixon trying to punch it in, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Right here. Check. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Say. Watch safety creeping.
They'll begin to drive with Jackson on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Check.
They'll run with Jackson. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check 3. Hey, alert 3. Check him off. Shit. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Here we go. Hey, Romo. 50, Mike, 50. Let's go. Hey, Mike 50. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Kill.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch it for Washington. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Championships, baby. Pick the edge. Come. Shift. Watch the shift. Go. 15. Check 15. He's checking.
On 1st down, here's Love. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. It's caught by Jackson.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready? Check Mike. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check. Fresno. Check. Crunch. You go tight. Yeah. You got tight right there. Watch that.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Kiki QT. His third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Keep dribbling.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Throwing deep for Galladay. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
He's coming. We got double up. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Squeeze. Check 24. Switch.
They'll start here with Jackson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tighten up. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch out.
Now a give running right is Love. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
3 down. Kid 21. Kill. No.
He'll look to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone.
And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Cowboys on the board again. It's a 2-touchdown lead there. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Bengals drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
That's the way. Check your hot read. Sponge. No. Go. Check 26, check 26.
2nd and 10. He's going to launch it for Washington.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 3rd and short. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Operating from the gun. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. A gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
They run on first down with Jackson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, it's Jackson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
Rush in. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, squeeze. Ship. Check. 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 Jam. 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 Check three. Check three. Showing that. Showing that.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
On third down, it's Jackson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Maher pulled it left. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going deep for a... And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Julian Love picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for
defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. 77 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Maher, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Kill. Shoot. Check. Begin.
They'll run on first down. Jackson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready. 15 line. Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Watch the safety creep. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check. Same on. Wahoo.
Second and 13. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch safety creeping. Step, go. Check. Lucky. Spit up.
On first down, it's Jackson. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Bengals 36-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Double up. Back. On. 10. Check. 3.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I got you. Hey, alert 3. Check 52. Shit. 25. Check 25. Check.
They'll run again with Jackson. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Check the backer. Check 4. Check 3.
They'll run on first down. It's Jackson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, son. Check. Watch the twist. Kill. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
It's now 3rd down.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. They'll look to throw here. wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball is going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of the other receivers can beat us.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Alert 3. 6 guard. Check 6 guard. Slam. Quick edge. Put it to him, Jet. Cover. Put it to him. Jet. Cover. Check 50. He's checking. Crack. Squeeze. 36. Check.
They run again with Jackson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
And the Steelers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check. Crouch. You go tight. You hang on.
Now Jackson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Let's go now. 53, 57. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They'll drop the throw. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Hey, team six, shoot.
They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away as we just saw there.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. Give them 32 on the play.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10.
On the ball.
Back to throw. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And some space here. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Watch twist. Yeah. Check 99. Check long.
On first down, it's Jackson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got it. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. On the carry, it's Jackson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Pittsburgh, they do get the victory here in the season finale, but it was altogether a disappointing season as they wind up at 6-10. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year